first step is to schedule the soil testing. That takes about 1 to 2 weeks because we have to schedule with the township witness to inspect the work, get the contractor on board, and do utility markouts. Once that's complete, we'll do the topographic survey and the site plan for the septic system, and that takes another 1 to 2 weeks. After that's done, we'll submit that to the township for review, and concurrently we'll get those plans to the contractor, and once it's approved, they can begin the construction, which generally takes 7 to 10 days for an overall process from start to finish of about 4 to 6 weeks. So we're here today at a property that requires a new septic system. Here we're standing on the old system. As you can see, it's been dug up from the initial inspection. And the first step in our process is figuring out where the new system's going to go. So site selection is an important topic because it's what results in a better looking system and one that costs people less money. So for this property, we take a look at a variety of factors. We have things like well buffers, property line buffers, buffers to other systems. So we factor all those things in, and then the next thing we look at is what is the location that makes it most economical and it's going to look the best for the customer. So obviously we try and locate it in places that are open lawn areas rather than in wooded. But the key here is that we have to have a septic that has a passing test. So sometimes when we have a location that we would like to pick, doesn't quite work, and we have to have backups in mind. The property back here you see has a wooded area as well as a lawn area. So our primary focus would be to try to see if the lawn area will function to save the client some money. So we're performing soil testing on this property, and there are a few different tests that you can do in the state. The first is if you have soil. Basically you can just take samples of the soil and you take them to a laboratory that'll analyze them. But if you have rock, it's an in-field test that we perform, and that's a lot of what we do. So you're really just measuring the rate of water either coming into the hole or going out of the hole. Another common question we get asked is, will I have to have a mounded system? Whether or not you need a mounded system is really a function of how high water is in the ground. Sometimes that's actual visible water that you can see, and other times it's discolorations of soil, which is known as mottling. So if you have water at 7 feet, that is what we call generally a flat system. But for every inch that you come higher with your groundwater level, that will be an inch of mound that you would have to have. So here what we have going on is an excavation for a test that we're doing in rock. Basically right now we're measuring the rate of water coming into the hole, and we'll have this test completed by tomorrow. So that is essentially what goes on in a soil test. We'll dig 2 of these holes, and if they match up and we have a passing test, this will be where we'll locate the septic system. So while performing our soil testing, we've determined that this site would normally need a 4-foot mound. Because of this property being somewhat small, having a nicely manicured patio area in the back, the owner has decided that this is not what they want. So we've looked at alternative technologies that can be used to eliminate that mound. The 2 most common are the peat moss systems and the aerobic treatment units. Now both of these have the potential to take 3 feet off the height of a mound, which in this scenario will basically make it a level system. So that's what we'll be employing here so that the aesthetics of the property can be maintained.